Hello and welcome to Digital Farm TV Rural News. I'm Andy Walker. The National Farmers Federation this week welcomed the appointment of former Howard government staffer Dr Chris Parker as interim CEO of the Australian Pesticides and Veterinary Medicines Authority. In a big week of announcements for the Federal Agriculture Minister, Barnaby Joyce said Dr Chris Parker's brought to the interim role solid experience as a former farmer and vet and extensive experience in private and government roles. The appointment would give the APVMA some certainty as it took the next steps to build itself up to be a world-class regulator of agricultural and veterinary chemicals in regional Australia. The appointment also gave the agency time to complete a comprehensive merit-based recruitment process for a permanent CEO to be based in Barnaby Joyce's New South Wales electorate of Armidale. Dung beetles will be on the job, helping to increase farm productivity in a new $9.2 million federally funded Meat and Livestock Australia research program. Agriculture Minister Barnaby Joyce said this week that the humble dung beetle delivered great benefits on farm. It improved soil health, reduced the spread of flies, increased pasture health and reduced nutrient runoff into waterways. The new project would help farmers unlock the potential of these powerful ecosystem engineers to effectively turn dung into dollars. Meat and Livestock Australia and Dairy Australia this week went to the federal court to appeal against a 2010 patent of the bovine genome granted to international livestock giants Cargill and Branhaven. MLA told ABC Rural it believed the patent potentially covered almost every economically valuable genetic trait in cattle, including beef tenderness, marbling in meat and milk production. The patent raised serious concern at MLA and Dairy Australia because the two organisations continued to invest a significant amount of levy payer money in research, with an increasing focus on genomics. The organisations believe the patent would maintain the high price of genomic testing for beef and dairy farmers while having a dampening effect on original. The federal government this week announced that the national headquarters of the newly created $4 billion Regional Investment Corporation, aka Barnaby's Bank, will be based in the central western New South Wales town of Orange. Agriculture Minister Barnaby Joyce said the RICS movement to the regional centre in early 2018 would provide an economic boost for the entire region. The RIC was a key election commitment designed to improve delivery of funds to farmers and ensure greater national consistency in farm business loan assessments. Orange was an important agricultural hub in a region which generated about $1.7 billion in gross agricultural production. It was also the home of the New South Wales Department of Primary Industries. Australia's farm sector is riding a big wave of investment confidence, according to Commonwealth Bank agribusiness research released this week. The research showed farmers were preparing to boost spending and realise opportunities by hiring staff, getting their families more involved, and by using more contractors and advisors. Investment in the beef, wool and lamb sectors in particular was expected to strengthen dramatically on the back of strong prices and record grain harvests, and intentions in the dairy sector had rebounded. The national index is 12.3, up 2.8 points on this time last year and 2 points ahead of the previous high recorded in May 2015. Germinating crops are off to an unexpectedly fast start in the Western Australian Northern Grain Belt, with oats out of the ground just a week after being planted, according to the Countryman this week. After a soggy February, followed by a dry March and April, Mullewa region farmer Zach Grimmer's optimism was starting to falter when he was sowing oats on Anzac Day. Generous summer rainfall of more than 200 mil followed and ensured there was an estimated 30 mil of moisture in the soil profile to help the new crops along. And finally, this week across the ditch in New Zealand, national dairy cattle numbers rose by 133,000 head to 6.6 million in the past year, despite a short dip caused by plummeting milk prices. Dairy NZ said this week it was extremely surprised by the figures which had been released by Statistics NZ and gave a snapshot of numbers at the end of June 2016. Statistics NZ said cattle numbers reached a recent all-time high in June 2014 when the population stood at 6.7 million. At that time, farmers were receiving a record $8.40 per kilo of milk solids before prices plunged to $3.90. Well, that's it for Digital Farm TV Rural News this week. I'm Andy Walker. Look forward to your company again next week. Bye.